Alright, I think I just went ballistic on that. When it come to the law of attraction, so I was reading comment on other people comment on YouTube videos, and there's a lot of what it should been said that is, because there's the title, you know, I put the title Psychology versus Law of Attraction and Confirmation Bias, right? Now, those of you who have not known me, I'm a junkie for the Law of Attraction, but also that I have kind of dived a little, not too much, but into the psychology subject, okay? I believe that when it comes, so we shouldn't, what I'm trying to say is I don't think we should get it, not mixed up, but we should combine it together, you know? We should see it as a whole. If you think about it, psychology and law of attraction and confirmation bias, right? It's all dealing with our, well, of course, psychology is the study of the mind and behavior, right? So it's the, if, like for instance, self-help books, right? Self-help books is considered cognitive, well, not, it's considered psychology, but they're more cognitive psychology, right? Now, when it comes to psychology, it's not the mental illness. People get it wrong. Like, people always say, you know, mental illness about psychology. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about actually studying the behavior of why people do the thing that they do. For instance, law of attraction and confirmation bias, right? It look a lot like, it kind of look like the same, but in a way, law of attraction is the universal law or spiritual law of the universe. But in essence, though, it looked kind of like the same, because confirmation bias is where you go seek an information that's existing to your belief, right? And yesterday I tried to sleep, and I was looking through my friend Lozier video, and I was watching it. Your thoughts, when you think it over and over, it become a belief, right? Or any thought that you tell a lie over and over, it become a belief system, right? But they dive deep to your subconscious, because the unconscious, which Sigmund Freud introduced, you know, is still referring to the psychology of the human brain. Now, of course, so it's as if, well, of course, the law of attraction is more dealing with our whole human being with vibration, right? Vibes, right? And we're setting off energy, of course. But in actuality, we're still dealing with also our mind. Basically, the subconscious is still the sending and receiving station, right? But when it comes to understanding these aspects, I'm trying to bring it to a full, well, not full circle, but to make it you understand. So, but confirmation is a human error that most people tend to so they may not unconsciously know it, but they use it a lot. What happened is, it's actually bad when it comes to making, because if you look up what's actually confirmation bias is, it's actually bad when it comes to decision making, because we tend to seek what we know, right? Now, whether if you dive deep a little bit into the psychology subjects, I'm not talking, see, this is what I want to get to people to say. It's not about mental illness. You can do that all you want, you know, schizophrenia and all this stuff, type of stuff. But I'm talking about why people don't move into the direction of their dreams, their fears, or what's underneath all that, the layer of the subconscious, where it files all the memories, all the experience, all the stuff that you accumulate over time. Now, when it comes to, let's say that I know the law of attraction, right? It looked similar, because let's say we attracted this person, and it's kind of like confirmation, and we talk the same confirmation bias and confirmation bias, right? But also in the law of attraction world, where you'd be like, oh, you know, it's out of the blue synchronicity. I'm not talking. So my point is, I'm trying to get to the point is that we don't have to take law of attraction for its own and become mystical. We can actually combine it with other subject as a whole to make it more unique. Okay, so basically people can get confused on this. When it comes to the law of attraction, of course, when you think positive or when you feel good and good things happen, right? If you think negative, same thing like confirmation bias. But in the law of attraction, there is actually a not mysterious part to it, but there is a realm where possibility can happen, right? But that's the difference between confirmation bias, but still. Because confirmation bias doesn't allow you to have the possibility to envision a life better than where you are now. But law of attraction is where you can envision, where you can pull the reality or bend reality and make it your own. Like the universe rearrange itself, right? I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is we should because law of attraction is psychology, it's still dealing with the mind. Of course, there's also, we can get into the whole vibration and the whole universal law, but it's still dealing with the mind. Psychology is still dealing with the mind. And when it comes to confirmation bias, what we don't tend to do is we should seek other information, even if we're uncomfortable. I keep telling people that it's not enough to know the law of attraction. You can know all the law of attraction all you want. But when it comes to your fears, when it comes to you setting big goals, right? When it comes to that, can you have this vision in front of you, but yet you're afraid to go forward. Why is that? What's the story behind that fear? What are you playing that it recurs? Because whatever you think about, well, you will bring about, right? That's what they say. Now, when it comes to playing with this stuff, when you actually dive deep, down to it, is studying your own psychology, right? If you think about it, you're studying your own psychology when you introspect yourself, or not contemplate, but when you introspect yourself, you're still studying yourself, psychology. Even if it's psychology studying other people, but it's studying yourself, right? And when it comes to that, what's in your mind? What's in your brain? Huh? What's stopping you from taking the action that you should do? See, most people, they set a goal. What happened is they stop. Why is that? It's because it's too big, right? I used to do that. But you gotta play with the idea that there is something stopping you. It's not the goal. It's the fear, or it's something else, right? Or it's an obstacle that you don't have the money right now. You don't have things that enable you to get where you want to go, right? It's fascinating that when it comes to talking to people, the average person, they wouldn't really know about the confirmation bias, but I'm making you aware right now. Confirmation bias is a lot of people get stuck on the confirmation bias as you grow older. For me, sometimes I get stuck on confirmation bias because it's hard sometimes, but that's why I tend to read different books and watch different subjects, because I want to not be able to just have this edgy or like that this is the thing I believe. That's the thing. That's when you cold-heartedly believe in that subject and then you don't listen to any other person. That's confirmation bias, right? Now, when it comes to psychology, law of attraction, we have to combine it, because you're dealing with the mind. And when you're dealing with the mind, you're dealing with behavior too. What you're trying to do, you're trying to change a behavior, right? You're trying to change your behavior to get the result that you want. But so many of us are not changing our behavior. We can, use the law of attraction all we want. We have to also change our behavior. Yeah, we can attract this thing, but it's about, can you keep it? Can you create it? When you create it, can you keep it? That's the thing that most people don't get. Because you can attract good things to you, but you won't be able to keep it for a long lasting time. It's about changing psychology. It's about changing you. It's about molding you to become the better you. The biggest problem is when we associate the law of attraction, we're only thinking about attracting the things instead of we working on ourselves. When we work on ourselves, we make our life much more better as a whole. And that's what you must focus on. That when you want to attract good things, work on yourself. Work on yourself to the point that things come to you naturally. People will gravitate to you, and your level of success gravitate. That's what I have experienced, right? And when it comes to that, and when you work on yourself, you actually vibrate at a higher level, even if you don't see it like that, but it's still working in that realm. Because in human being, we are never stuck. Actually, we are always growing. It's just that most people don't tend to grow, but we are always growing to our higher awareness. Try to reach to the higher self. This be oneness with this power, if you will, infinite intelligence, superconscious, God, whatever you want to call it, Allah. But when it comes to it, we're trying to change. If you think about it, law of attraction is also about changing your perception, right? Changing your perception is still doing with the psychology too. So we have to make it whole, right? I love psychology. I love law of attraction. But the thing is, we have to bring it together. We have to see it as if it's just one, because it is one. Because if you think about it, we're still dealing with human. We're dealing with our mind, psychology, right? Remember, take out ology, psychology, right? Take out ology and then psycho, right? Psycho is Greek for mind, or I forgot what is it. Greek for mind or psyche. Yeah, psyche is Greek for mind or soul. And ology is the study of, but if you put it together, it becomes study of the mind and behavior, if you actually read it. And when we try to change behavior, what we're trying to do is we're trying to change our subconscious belief system. When we change our subconscious belief system, we override. We can't get rid of the old habit like that, but what we can do, we can override the habit and we can change our behavior and get the result that we want, right? So that's it for today for the video for psychology versus law of attraction and confirmation bias. I can go deep for confirmation bias, right? It's easy. But today, like my video, subscribe to my channel because I'll be doing more of this. Out.